Sayin.
Hello and welcome back to What You Saying, the show that looks at all things online in the world of football. I'm Lumos
Bhav.
How you feeling today, man?
It's been a boring week, nothing's really happened. So apologies if the show comes across a bit like, there's nothing there.
We'll try and do our best, man. We still got a bit of content here for you. Before we get into the show, make sure you follow us on social media. Follow me at Lumos7.
Follow me at Baz14.
Alright, so hot topic, Arsene Wenger statue. Saying here now that Arsene Wenger's agreed for a statue of himself to be made outside the Emirates Stadium, according to the Mirror. How do you feel about that?
Let me make it clear right now. I don't think this should be a question. I think this is a straight answer, yes.
Yeah.
Right? I was speaking to someone about it yesterday and he was like, oh, Henry's got a statue. I was like, yeah. So how can you give the greatest player a statue at Arsenal and not give the greatest manager a statue at Arsenal? I don't care how you left Arsenal and what happened in the end. Yeah, but it's about, as an overall manager, you can't look past the titles he's won, the Invincibles, the memories he gave us over 2 years of not getting Champions League football. You know what I mean? And
that's true. I think he definitely does.
I just think anyone who thinks Wenger doesn't deserve a statue is being biased.
They're bugging, yeah.
What's wrong with you? I just don't understand anyone's concept. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You got Tony Adams was a great player for us, Bergkamp was a great player for us, but Wenger was the one who brought through Henry, for example, and he's got a statue. So why doesn't?
Also, I think another statue that should be there is Ian Wright should have a statue.
Ian Wright should have a statue.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's a few people who deserve a statue, but Wenger definitely deserves a statue.
Yeah.
So you agree with that as well, right?
Yeah, I agree with that one.
All right. So obviously, someone who didn't agree was Mr. DT, Mr. Marmite, as you want to call him, if you read that.
So he says he doesn't mind Wenger having a statue, but if they do that, then they should also do one for George Graham. Don't agree with naming a stand after him though, but if they did that, they would have to name one after Herbert Chapman and another one after George Graham. I think Arsenal fans are a bit divided on George Graham because of Tottenham thing, and
you just don't, it doesn't happen. What clubs give statues to players that have played or managed for the worst possible team, Tottenham?
It's up for debate, that one.
Do you think?
But in terms of naming the stands, I don't see any problem with naming the stands after.
I don't, man. Maybe not George Graham. I think that Spurs thing was.
I don't know, man. It's still a bit. Obviously, I wasn't around then, but George Graham's got a big legacy at Arsenal.
Yeah, but if you're gonna give every great manager a stand, then what's the point? We're gonna have great managers in the future. I think you give it to the greatest for Arsenal, which is Wenger. No debate about that. Herbert Chapman's the most influential potentially, but giving it to George Graham is yes, you're successful, but as an overall, come on,
What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below.
Comment below.
Okay, so over the past week, we've been spending time in New Orleans.
You have spent time in New Orleans.
Yes, I said I've been spending time in New Orleans.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
And it was really, really cool out there. We went there for Guna Gras, which is a link up of Arsenal fans. It started off as a link up of Arsenal fans just in the States, and then now it's grown to be an international thing. It's a play on Mardi Gras, which is just call it a festival celebration that happens in New Orleans every year, and it's around the same time of year. So just a few weeks before Mardi Gras happens, you got Guna Gras. And shout out to the NOLA Gooners, that's New Orleans, Louisiana, that's what NOLA stands for. And they're the ones who organise it. Special shout out to Tiffany as well. So obviously we've flown out there to cover it, and Troops was overdue a forfeit. And he finally did the forfeit, and this is what it was.
Right.
Oh my days! Oh my days!
We love you, Freddie. We love you, Freddie.
You're a waste, man.
We got you, Freddie. Arsenal through and through. And we ain't Man U.
You're doing it, waste, man.
Of course I'm fucking enjoying it, bro. Keep still.
Hey, you're ridiculous.
Remember the pepper? Remember the pepper, bro?
Oh, that's cold!
You know what, I'm trying not to get it on the fade. Keep the fade going, you know what I mean?
That's on the face! That's my fucking ear!
Alright, so yeah.
First of all, let me say right now, sorry to cut you off, but that's not a forfeit. Dyeing your hair red. I'm not gonna do it personally because I'm a Sikh.
To be honest, it was kind of like thinking on our feet of something, because we knew we had to do something. Because in the comments, literally every video that was coming out, right, in the comments are Troops and bottle drop, Troops and bottle drop. So I think probably Robbie would have waited until we got back here to do something better.
Dyeing your hair
but
red.
We had to think on our feet while we were out there, and I saw the dye and I said, why don't we,
So it was your idea? You could have given him a lot worse than that.
Nah, but listen, we had to
dye
work.
your hair red or eat the hot ghost pepper cheese.
We had to work with And you know what Troops is like as well, so it's just to get it done.
It's a forfeit, man.
So
I don't care who you are, it's a forfeit.
I hear that.
You get your forfeit, you take
Listen,
that
look,
forfeit.
He's still got another forfeit to do.
Like, to be honest, right, looking back at the forfeits that my man's done.
Yeah.
Sushi.
Yeah, that's like.
Which, I don't like fish, I'll tell you right now, but it's a delicacy. A lot of people love sushi, you know? So it's like, come on. And then secondly, dyeing your hair red. I know a lot of people that got red hair.
Yeah, remember, there's another forfeit that Robbie wanted him to do. We can't say it because he might see it and spoil it. But that other one that he was going to do, but we ran out of time, the Trafalgar Square thing.
Okay, yeah.
That would have been a good one to do, but you see, like, we just had to.
I'm just saying, like,
we had to push this.
He gave Robbie a very, very hot chili.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And that's a forfeit. Like, that's when I watch and I go.
Do you know what's funny
I
though? You know
do
what's
that.
funny? Troops said, yeah, you bottled your forfeit. You only ate 2. You was meant to eat 3. I'm like, come on, bro.
Come off it, man.
Don't even go there.
Yeah, the comments didn't let go of Troops, did they?
Yeah, nah. So Damani McDonald says people literally bullied him into doing this forfeit, which it was from the comments still. Yanni says didn't want to cut off, but accepted the state of his head. Big L, definitely ham roll of the week. Accepted that state of his head. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oscar Lowe says if Troops wins the next one, he should get Robbie to do one of them. What? Glued on man wings weave.
Imagine that.
That's a good shout.
That's a good shout. If Troops, you're watching, that's what you should do.
I'm definitely going to suggest that one to Troops still.
But obviously now, Troops being Troops, I'm not going to blame him because obviously next day he woke up and I saw his Snapchat and Instagram stories and his pillows all red and that, and he obviously is a man who's clean, he showers himself, and he said it came off, right?
He's lying.
All right, whatever it is, I wasn't there. I can't get a VAR.
You know, it's funny. Troops came out of the office like, "Yo, I was in there scrubbing," and then you can see in the vlog he said to Robbie, "Oh man, I just went in the shower. It came out."
I was gonna say, but yeah. So obviously I couldn't do a VAR check on that, but from what I'm hearing for a minute, so obviously the comments of the next Buyers show were like, "Nah, we're not having that. You had a forfeit for a day, overnight basically, and it's gone." So as the commenter said.
So on the Buyers show, the next day, Joe said, Joe Rogan. That's not the actual Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
he
said,
Rogan. Troops is a talker. I know the type when I see them. Man will run when the ops show up.
I've heard a lot of people say that. So.
No comment.
Yeah.
Berg Goat Camp says, why didn't Robbie use a permanent diet? Robbie partially owns the L this time. To be fair,
if he had.
You know what's funny? When he was reading the reviews of the product, he had bad reviews, right? He was saying, I tried to wash this out, it wasn't coming out. So he was thinking, maybe we'll struggle to come out, but as you can see, Troops did a good job of getting out, man.
Yeah, well, that's his thing, isn't it?
Alligator. We saying Troops? Alligator, bit alligator.
Does alligator count as fish?
I stick to my brandy and coke, blood.
A bit alligator. It's not fish.
Alligator, it's in the sea. It's a fish. Yeah?
It's not fish, it's alligator.
Whatever's in that water is a fish, dog.
Come on, man, try it out.
Blood.
You have to do history,
Let's try some
mammals
alligator.
and everything.
I've actually tried alligator. I didn't like it. That's the thing. You don't think I don't try stuff. I've tried fish.
It's good.
Yeah, I tried it. I don't
Try
like
that, man.
I've tried it.
Try it again.
Nah, my girl loves fish, bro.
Try it again.
Like, my girl loves fish, bro.
Try it again.
Nah, son, you're alright, you know.
Bottle job.
Whatever, man.
Try it. Alligator.
This guy's loving life.
All right, so one thing I got to big up New Orleans for, is the food. The food is absolutely amazing. And I went out there thinking, I'm going to be able to hold it down, not eat too much, eat healthy. Absolute myth. Like, I've traveled a lot of places, and outside of Jamaica, this is the best food I've ever had anywhere. Like,
big statement.
The food was.
That's a big statement.
I've been around, man. I've been around Europe. I've been to Brazil. Been to other states in America, but no one's touching New Orleans. Trust me. On our first night, we went to get like some local grub, like the food that the people from New Orleans would be eating. And Steve, shout out to Big Steve. He took us to this restaurant. Which, funny enough, in the comments, right, they made us realise that the place we went to eat was actually on Gordon Ramsay Kitchen Nightmares before.
Yeah, I actually saw that. Funny enough, after you went there, I was on Netflix's YouTube channel, and obviously I was watching the series called Sex Education, and their like main cast went there as well. So I was like, raw.
Same restaurant.
Yeah, same restaurant. So it's like a not national, but thing for them. Yeah. Alligator thing and that. So
we tried alligator meat, and you know what Troops is like with any kind of seafood, even though. Is it seafood?
That's what he said.
You know what I mean? He called alligator a fish because it's in the water. It's a fish. But
come on.
But
man.
I will tell you now, alligator meat tastes just like chicken.
Yeah.
But I got told by some guys from New Orleans that it's got to be the tail that you have, not the stomach or whatever. It's got to be the tail. That's the best part.
Sorry to any vegans watching, by the way.
Yeah, but alligator meat, good stuff.
Yeah, apparently it's like chicken, but it's a bit tough.
No, to be fair, it depends on who cooks it, I guess.
Alright,
Because like down there, yeah, their man seasoned their food right. Everything's good.
Yeah.
So it was literally just like if I came out and said, yeah, this is chicken, this is like
Yeah,
popcorn
exactly.
chicken. It was fried as well. You just yam it, not.
Ain't it close to Tennessee?
Yeah,
There you go, man.
Alright, so Tony Thornton says, I'm so pleased for you, Robbie. You've made a good life for yourself. Hard work pays off. Hard work does pay off.
Me, all them
keep on the
haters are
grind.
going, oh, why is he in New Orleans? Why is he not a proper Arsenal fan, you know?
There's some people complaining about the fact that we was covering this stuff, you know, it's funny. Mr. Cray says Troop's name should be Mr. Backed Out Again.
Backed out again, bro.
So yeah, like I said before, what Guna Gra is, there's a bit of a clip of Tiffany, the head of the No Lagunas, explaining what it's all about.
What's that all about?
What's that all about?
Guna Gra is a gathering of Arsenal supporters from all over the United States and the entire world at this point, who come to New Orleans because New Orleans is a really easy city to come to and visit. And you know what? We celebrate all things Arsenal, and we do a charity event. We're raising money for the kits for a local middle school soccer team, and then we will also give the rest of it to St. Baldrick's for research for childhood cancer. So it's all in good fun. There's always kind of this backdrop of charity to it, but this is the big piece of it. Everybody out having a good time. You never really know how many faces you'll see from last year, how many new people will come in. You guys did say you would come back, and here you are.
So comments on that video, Heinrich Gershrak says, Don Robbie scores more on away trips than Arsenal. Behave yourself, man.
Behave yourself.
Gororo14 says, I think American Gooners are really showing us what it's supposed to be like being an Arsenal fan. Family, community. When I get a chance, I'm going to Guna Gra. Let's make it bigger. Come on, you Gunners. Definitely agree. Like over there, it's like one big family, man. One big family, and I'm gonna touch on it now, right? So the whole passport thing, what happened with me, yeah.
Ooh, what's that all about?
So let me paint the picture for you, right, guys? So we touched down New Orleans. Steve says to us that when we go to bars and anywhere with alcohol or anywhere that you need ID, UK driver's licenses are like taken as serious ID, which is incredibly stupid. There's like 52 states in America. They've all got different state IDs, but our UK driver's license an issue, whatever. So from there, I'm just like, God, I don't want to be running around with my passport. Like, anytime I travel, keep my passport locked away, secure in my room or wherever, somewhere secure. Don't walk around out and about with it. And I had people like leaving comments about how could you use a passport, you're supposed to do it. But listen, I've been traveling on my own since I was 8 years old. I know how to handle my passport, so I don't need any advice from anyone. What happened was, when I drink, because this is a lot of drinking involved in Guna Gra, we're bar hopping.
As I can see.
I dip into my pockets a lot.
Yeah.
That's just a bad habit. I know I have, I'm conscious of it, and I will pull out my phone and pull out stuff out my pocket. So I didn't want to have the passport in my pocket in case I was too drunk, tried to pull out my phone to film something or dropped out, right? So I had a pouch bag with 3 compartments. One compartment sits literally right or going to my body. So you wouldn't be able to take anything out while I'm wearing it.
All right.
Put the passport in that part of the bag. We went to a restaurant, sat down to eat. Literally within seconds, the bag's gone. And then I've seen the footage, guys nicked the bag.
What else was in that bag?
My Snapchat glasses, the ones that Kelechi's got, my vape.
All right.
And just a portable charger.
So
yeah,
but
quite a few
the
things.
passport there, because you had to travel to get that. Something.
Yeah, so then I had to go to, I'm gonna put it all in. I actually vlogged a bit. Alright people, so I've thrown the coop, I've left everyone behind. I've got Ross kindly driving me to Houston. Day 2 in Houston, I'm joined by Steve now. H-Town. AKA Robert Downey Jr. Nice shirt there. So now we're at like the consulate or embassy, and I've got to get my emergency travel document sorted. So I've got that emergency travel document, so now I can return home, no worries. Yeah, I'm not stuck here. And shout out to this Guna that's come all the way to check, man.
Yeah.
H-Town.
H-Town Gooners. Up Gooners.
To get, sorry not Dallas, I had to travel to Houston, 5-hour drive, one of the Gooners that offered to give me a ride, travelled there, got it replaced there because there's no embassy in New Orleans, which is pretty stupid. And then got a flight back, then I got a flight back to New Orleans. So the point I was gonna make there is the whole family thing. When initially I realized like, I'm fucked, I need to get a new passport. Big Steve, yeah, it was like watching a movie. Big Steve is pacing around the room, he makes one call, sorts something out, then he makes another call, sorts something out, makes another call. It was like, literally within like half an hour, it was all patterned, like everything was all sorted. So shout out to Big Steve, shout out to the other Big Steve Hernandez, and shout out to Ross who gave me the ride from the Houston Gooners. And like I said, it's like one big family. Like I didn't know these guys from anywhere. Yeah. Ross gave me a ride back. He let me crash at his place, his family as well, thanks to his family. And then the next day, Steve drove me around town and helped me catch a flight to the airport.
I can never imagine that happening here. Like, with all due respect. You know, you passport, get out of this country, mate. It's 31st.
And now, when I get my replacement passport, it's going to be a Brexit passport. It's not going to have the European Union thing on it.
Oh, that's why I'm keeping my passport nice and tight to myself.
Well, yeah, that's it all explained there. So now let's get into the memes.
The memes.
So what you saying?
Right, so the first one, so essentially speaking, obviously, going back to Ajax vs Chelsea, you remember that group stage game where it was mad. I think it was 4-3 and Ajax had 10 men. But obviously 9 men actually, and the referee made a lot of mistakes. So someone's come out, I think it's Football Italia, and they said Ajax could be reimbursed 12 million euros for the decisions made by Italian referee Gianluca Rossi during a Champions League match against Chelsea. Now, if that's true, I said, like, my personal thought was I was like, what? Teams are getting paid for bad referee decisions. I was like,
we could go way back.
I said it.
The first thing that came into my head was Van Persie against Barcelona.
There was a comment saying that they said we should get paid at least 25 million for that. You know, so I said teams are getting paid for poor refereeing decisions. Well, that should add another £100 million to Arsenal transfer budget then this season at least. We should be at least 4th or 5th right now. Because the amount of times we've had just actual bad decisions with VAR as well, like the Crystal Palace goal where we scored a clear goal, but it was a foul by Callum Chambers because he stepped on someone or touched someone by accident. Yeah. There's all these and so I think, listen, man, the referees against Arsenal, we know how it is. So if it was to go that way, imagine the amount of money we'd get, even the Champions League final. You know, was it offside? Whoever does like the referees thing, like, you owe us a lot of money, so hand it over. Right.
Alright, yeah, so this is mad. I wasn't in the country for this.
I was here.
Storm Sierra looked like a mad thing.
I was here. Do you know what I was doing? I was just chilling in my room watching Netflix. I did not leave my house for 4 days. Well, that sounds a bit bad, but it's true. Actually, I did. I actually went to gym, so go on.
Yeah, if you stood outside, you'd probably get a good workout just getting pushed around by the wind. But yeah, it's just funny just like seeing how the wind is just taking people away here. And
they actually abandoned the game for it. It was Man City versus West Ham, and
is that why they abandoned the game?
Yeah, because Storm Clara.
And they abandoned the Women's North London Derby.
So I said it was mad, you know. So,
and you know what, as well, to touch on that as well, the Women's North London Derby, right? That game was on a Sunday morning, right? So Saturday night we were out there.
Yeah.
And like we was turning up a bit, and then everyone was like, "Oh well, we gotta go to bed early because the women's game's at 8 AM in the morning." I'm just thinking, like, that's an 8 AM one. I don't know how these men do it when it's on the weekends and then they have to wake up mad early. Like if they're in LA, they're waking up at like 5 for like an early kickoff and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Not real French, mate. Not real French.
Nah, just get all that talk out the window. So a week or so ago now,
Newcastle. I've been watching that game. So I watched that game live and I was like, no. Did he do that? And I was like, no, he didn't do that. So I just let it go. And I go on Twitter and I see, okay, he actually did it. So
Newcastle fan, when what's his?
It was St. Maximin scored.
St. Maximin scored, and it was a mad goal, and he just decided to whip his dick out and do a helicopter with it. The helicopter's when you pull your dick out and you spin it around like a helicopter, and that's what he did for his celebration. And now he's been received a life ban from all English football grounds and for waggling his penis during the FA Cup replay. And St. Maximin has responded, and he said, "That's messed up since we didn't see anything because of the cold night. We will remember you, penicopter."
I pick up St. Maximin because he's active.
Yeah, he's funny on Twitter. He's like the new Mendy, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's more active than Mendy, man. He actually physically will search his name up on Twitter, and you don't have to tag him. Just say his name, and as long as that tweet does decent numbers, he'll respond to that tweet. So big up to him, innit? He responds to the people.
This one's a bit funny. It's a bit out there. So Kane says, this is from Dan Basika. He says, Kane is arguably one of the most complete players in the Premier League. Can score and assist, and now he's even wanking off Sissoko and Ndombele at the same time. This guy can do everything.
It's the video of Kane doing
the rope pulls.
The rope pulls.
It's another stereotypical black man tweet.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I see the funny side. Now this is the definition of shithousery.
Yeah.
Literally the definition of shithousery. And I'm not endorsing or condoning this kind of behaviour.
Nope.
But
Not at all.
a few Sheffield United fans snuck into Hillsborough, that's where Sheffield Wednesday, the arch rivals, play, and did a shit on the centre circle.
That's...
There's actually a video of it as well. They're so dumb. So this is a picture of the guy. He's blocked his face out, but they've actually posted a video of them doing it with their on their personal account. So they're gonna get caught. They're gonna get done for it. So I wouldn't advise anyone
down
doing
for a
the
good
same.
cause.
And I don't think you'd be able to. Any Arsenal fans getting any ideas? I don't think it'd be that easy to get into Tottenham
No,
Stadium.
you say that, but I remember when West Ham made the new stadium, there was actually a YouTuber that actually managed to get through everything. So and there's people
as in over the roofs and that.
Well, I'm not sure. Sometimes people are clever, man.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but
some people are
the
actually
kind of man that will shit on the pitch ain't the kind of man that's going to be able to,
yeah, well, that's
climb
a bit
up
thing.
Thingy, you know.
But,
These men probably just had to hop on one
I've
fence.
seen people that have climbed the Emirates before, like at night.
Yeah, like I said, them man ain't the kind of man that's going to go and shit on the pitch.
Well, if you are one of them, man, consider it.
I'm not. It's that time of year again, coming up to Neymar's sister's birthday, and for some reason, every single year, he manages to get injured around that time. And now people are saying, listen, this is no coincidence. And there's been a run-in, listen, once again, I'm not condoning it, I'm not siding with this argument.
What's that all about,
this
mate?
is just social commentary right here from me, right? This is running conspiracy theory that Neymar's doing a thing with his sister. And now they've photoshopped his face onto Jamie Lannister from Game of Thrones, who had 3 kids with his sister. So.
What, is that real?
What?
Or was it in Game of Thrones? I haven't watched it.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
I was going to say, that's a bit mad, you know. I was just going to say that so confidently, like, yeah, he had 3 kids with his sister.
Yeah, in the show.
In the show, cool. Fair enough.
Alright, so lastly, we was going to touch on something quickly we almost forgot actually. Some comments Emery came out with earlier this week. And it's
good evening.
Ridiculous. He said, Arsenal was on a downward slope for 2 years before I arrived. Fair point. We stopped this fall and then began to rebuild. True. Some stars did not have a good attitude and asked for more than what they were giving back. Obviously, I'm partly responsible, but you see, that team has not exactly done better since I left.
Come off it, man.
So one, he did inherit like a team on a downward slope, but things did get better. And I think critical to our downfall was the way he didn't take certain teams seriously in the last few games of the league. Like, we absolutely bottled.
I still can't get my head over how we did it.
Absolutely bottled it, and that's down to his team selection at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The final, like, tactically got outdone. Like,
partly, but I would agree with the players.
And also players didn't turn up, but it was still embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly.
And to make the comment that the team has not exactly done better since he's left, there's been significant improvement in the team. It's just the results haven't gone our way, but it's not It's not down to performance in that. Some of it's been down to just bad luck. Some of it's down to referee decisions, and the odd player in bad form. So to come out and say like,
mate, we are
doing a lot of deflecting there, man. I'm not really happy with them comments. I think it's best Emery just, you know, he's gone, he's done, just leave it there. No need to piss off Arsenal fans any more than you have already.
Yeah, initially he was like, what he said initially when he left was like, okay, take my blame, whatever, sorry, and move on, right? Now it's come out, he's going out like sending shots for players, and also certain players have replied.
Yeah.
Ozil, Lacazette, Leno.
Ozil sent multiple shots.
So yeah, I mean, listen, man, it's done, it's over, get on with it, move on. You know, go get a job at whatever Spanish club you want to get a job at.
Yeah, man. So,
I'm sure you got a good payout, so keep your mouth shut.
What do you guys think of the comments? Let us know of those comments. Let us know in the comments below. So yeah, like I said, you can follow us on social media at Lumos7 on all platforms.
Follow me at Basil and subscribe to my channel as well.
So yeah, once again, shout out to all the Gooners in America. Gooner Growl was lit. Thank you for all the love and support you've shown to us, and AFTV growing bigger and better, and Gooner Growl growing bigger and better. So we see you again next year. But Emery, talking all this shit now, man. You're gone. It's done. Leave it. What are you saying, blood? What are you saying?